who is currently a third-year medical student at the Nelson Mandela School of Medicine. He's also a graduate in pharmacy at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. He has won multiple awards and accolades during his medical career, recognized as one of the University of KwaZulu-Natal's top medical students. Now, he serves on a student-run simulation of the World Health Organization, also serves on the Trainee Advisory Committee for the Consortium of Universities for Global Health. And he joins us this morning to discuss the COVID-19 vaccine booster doses and how the new variants of COVID-19 are influenced by these booster shots. Mohamed Hoosen Suleman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you.
Wa alaikum salam. I hope you and the listeners are keeping well.
Yes, alhamdulillah, we're doing very well, alhamdulillah, with the help and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Mohammed, let's talk about with the newly identified Omicron variant. We know that vaccine efficacy is substantially reduced. And now new data from Discovery Health shows a 33% efficacy against Omicron with the Pfizer double dose. Does this now mean that we need new vaccines altogether?
No, certainly not. It's not that we need new vaccines, but perhaps a slight alteration to our existing vaccine. But it's important that we analyze and we interpret this data correctly, because the reduction in efficacy to 33%, this relates to infection. And so it means that you have a 33% chance of protection against being infected with COVID-19. In particular, it's the Omicron variant. But where we are encouraged is that there is a 70% protection against severe disease and hospitalization when 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine are taken. Now, this is primarily the goal at this stage. It's to protect our population from severe disease, hospitalization, and death. Because 70% protection, it's still good. Because the World Health Organization, they have set the benchmark at 50%. So in essence, the current generation of vaccines that we have are still effective, and they will protect our people from being severely ill from COVID-19. And this is what our public health response is driven by. It's driven by the need to save lives, and these vaccines afford us exactly that. So Omicron does prove to be a challenge in terms of vaccine-mediated and natural immunity. But the primary objective of preventing severe disease, that is still maintained.
Now, Mohammed, we're talking about boosters, and we know that we're going to have a lot of booster talk going into the future. And many people think that the booster shot is different to the initial dose of the vaccine. Is this true?
Yeah, it's a question that is commonly asked, and absolutely not. No, because the this booster dose or the additional doses that you would receive, it's the same as your initial doses. It's the same vaccine in the same quantity, in the same strength. There is no difference in the actual vaccine, except how the human body responds to that additional dose. And it's called booster because it further stimulates the body to elicit an even better immune response, or to enhance the antibody response. Now, Pfizer, that's given at 0.3 ml, and J&J, it's 0.5 ml. And each time that you administer a dose, it's an even stronger immune response. So there is no difference in the booster shot than to the initial dose.
Right. Now, we know that SEPRA has approved the Pfizer booster shot for adults and high-risk populations. When will this rollout begin? Who will be the first to receive these booster shots?
So the Pfizer booster rollout, this will be set to commence in early January with those 60 years and older and those with comorbidities to be prioritized. So the registration for a booster shot is already open. And the procedure is quite straightforward. You go onto the website and you have to register. But it's important to note that you will only receive your booster shot 6 months after your second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. And this interval of 6 months, it's because of that waning immunity or the reduction in the antibody levels that now warrant an additional dose. J&J, on the other hand, this booster rollout has already begun for the healthcare workers, and this is under the Sisonke program. So those at high risk of infection, those who are above 60 years, those with comorbidities, these are the groups that we want to prioritize for the booster doses. But personally, I believe that there should be an option to the public to choose as to which dose you want for your booster, because we've seen that the mix and match principle, this works well, and I think it should be given consideration by the health regulator, SAPRA.
Now, we're going to be talking about booster shots, and I think this is an area that has been a point of discussion in terms of booster shots. Now, Mohammed, do you think booster shots will be the new standard for our public health response to COVID-19 and its new variants? Will we ever see the end of this pandemic?
It's a good question, and it's a difficult one, and I do think so. I think that the booster shots, they afford us the additional protection that we need. And we know that after 6 to 8 months, our body loses that ability to maintain an effective immune response once you're exposed to the virus. So we need to stimulate the immunological memory cells in our body by introducing these booster doses. I think that it will become the norm in future, in that every 6 to 8 months we have to take a booster shot. Because especially now when we see these new variants, and these variants, quite concerningly, they evade protection from natural immunity or vaccine-mediated immunity. And so we have to find a way to enhance the immune system. And so this is achieved with these booster doses. But I think it will take a very long time for us to see the end of this pandemic. And it's difficult because when you think of it, COVID-19 is like this fast-moving target that we are trying to aim at, And it's only once we can get transmission significantly reduced. And when we maintain that, then the World Health Organization, they can make a determination on the state of the pandemic.
Now, Mohammed, just finally, we know we're in the holiday season, and everybody was awaiting an announcement coming through from the government on where we are, especially with this new variant. Now, we've heard that South Africa will now remain at the level 1 lockdown measures. Do you think this is wise from the government?
Yeah. I don't think that a hard lockdown will yield any favorable outcome, because the virus has already spread far and wide, and it has seeded in all parts of the country. So to reinstate a lockdown, it would be futile and would only do harm to the economy. But if any restrictions are to be imposed or to be reinstated, I think we should look at reducing the indoor gatherings to about 100 people or so. Because having gatherings with large amounts of people, this would serve as a super spreader event. And these create the conditions for the virus to spread faster. But also, it's for us to ensure that we increase the pace of our vaccine rollout. Because in South Africa, currently, we have only 26% of our population fully vaccinated. That's far from our target. We are vaccinating about 100,000 people per day, yet we have capacity to vaccinate up to 400,000 people per day. So I think with the increasing vaccination coverage, and together with maintaining our preventative measures, I don't see a need for a hard lockdown. But also it's important that we remind our people, that we conscientize them to please keep the mask on, please keep the distance if going into the malls, because it's the festive period and it will be busy. Please be cautious and be responsible.
Well, Mohammed, Jazakallah khairan for that, for your time with us this morning here on Salam Media on News and Views. We wish you all the best, inshallah, and have yourself a wonderful Jummah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah so much. Wa alaikum salam.
Mohamed Hoosen Suleman with us this morning. And with that, it's just gone 8:33 a.m. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back.